Once upon a time, nestled between thick forests and jagged cliffs on a rocky coast, there lived a young girl named Lira. Now, Lira was known throughout the village for two things. First, her heart, which was as fearless as the crashing waves on the shore, and second, her unrelenting dream of becoming the first lighthouse keeper of a village. You see, the lighthouse perched atop the highest cliff was an old weathered thing, much like the sailors who tended it. For generations, the job of lighthouse keeper had only been passed to old weathered sailors, and the villagers had long since grown accustomed to their flickering lamp. Every evening after school, though, Lira would race up the cliffs to the abandoned lighthouse. With calloused hands, she would polish the giant rusted lens until it gleamed like a watchful eye. "One day," she would whisper to the seagulls, "I'll light the way." The villagers would chuckle kindly as they watched her. "She's too young. The job isn't open yet. She doesn't understand the sea. She should focus on real things like learning to cook or finding a good husband." But Lira kept showing up to the lighthouse, polishing and painting, determined to make her dream a reality. Then one night, the worst fog rolled in that the villagers had seen in decades. The fishermen at sea couldn't find their way back home. The old lighthouse had been dark for years since the electric buoys in the harbor had been installed. But now those lights too had failed. Panic spread through the village like a winter wind. The mayor stood at the edge of the cliffs, helplessly staring into the thick gray abyss. Just when all hope seemed lost, someone cried out, "Look!" High above them, on the cliffs where the lighthouse stood, there was a golden shimmer, a beacon in the gray. Is that the lighthouse? Everyone turned to look, and there it was, shining through the fog like a friendly eye. The lighthouse wasn't supposed to be on. It hadn't been for years, yet somehow its ancient lens was glowing with a warm golden light. As the fishing boats one by one made it back to the shore, the villagers ran up to the cliff. Breathless with amazement, they found Lira in the lantern room. Her homemade lantern might not have been able to light up the whole sea, but it had shone brightly and boldly that night. Guiding the ship safely home, covered in soot with a wild gleam in her eye, Lira simply smiled. "I didn't know it would happen tonight. I just believed it might someday, so I prepared." And from that day on, the lighthouse was no longer just an old abandoned building, but a symbol of hope and a reminder that sometimes dreams really do come true. And Lira, well, she became the youngest lighthouse keeper in the village's history.